welcome to Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, the show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland. I should say not quite fresh off a weekend in New Orleans, kind of dragging a little this morning. Joined as always by my co-host and dad, Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today fame. Dad, you have a good weekend?
Had a pretty good weekend. It's too windy to suit me right now, and it certainly doesn't suit my golf game.
Yeah, I know it gets in the way. We're also joined this morning by our returning champion and good friend, Randy Watkins. Randy, of course, a local golf magnate, former PGA player. Randy, thanks so much for joining us. It's always a special week when we get you in here for Masters Week.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, guys. As you mentioned, Dad, the weather is kind of it turned on us. We had a couple of blessed weeks there, a little windy, but good sunshine and good golf conditions. And now we come to the penultimate golf week of the year with the Masters in town. You know, guys, we were talking to Randy off air. This is maybe both of our favorite week of the year. Dad, I know you're not far behind on that sentiment.
Oh, it is my favorite week of the year.
Yeah.
It is mine. It's not. It's really nothing comes close to this for me. Yeah. And it starts today. I mean, I'm good for 7 days. So I can't wait for it to play. I'll watch every single shot.
Well, I can't wait to hear who you like this week.
Well,
you're pretty dead on most of the time.
Well, sometimes it's pretty easy to pick them when they're hot, but this one's always different. And you know, I told y'all earlier that if I had to pick one, I'm going to take Scotty Scheffler. I like everything about his game, and who doesn't? And he's played really well this year. He hasn't played great yet, but I think it's coming. And generally speaking, it's usually somebody who's in good form when they get to Augusta. You don't usually find it Masters Week. It just doesn't work like that very often. It happens, but it's not very often. And I think Scotty's sort of ramping up. He played really well in Houston and nearly won it. Took the week off, and he's been over there doing a lot of reconnaissance in advance. They're not playing much today because they're getting the bad weather, but he's my first pick.
They're getting rain today.
Yeah.
That'll soften the greens.
Yep. The weather will be great the rest of the week. I think they got smooth sailing after today, but they're getting at least a couple inches last night and today. So it'll soften it, but, you know, somehow they can make water go away. I don't know how they do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, they can. I think they have an army of people.
They've got to vacuum.
Well, you remember the year that the trees fell from the windstorm, and like 50 guys with chainsaws appeared out of the ground and had it all moved
and within minutes.
Right.
Gone.
15 minutes later, it's like it never happened. So.
Right.
I remember back in one of the first times I covered it for the Clarion Ledger, and that was back when my foolish days when I smoked a pack and a half of cigarettes a day, and every time I'd put a cigarette out, somebody would magically appear with a stick with a nail in it and pick that butt up. I'll never forget that.
It took it away.
Yeah.
He didn't leave it on the ground.
No.
It didn't stay there long, that's for sure.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So just for fun, I went back and listened to our show from last year at the Masters, and I would say that we all correctly pointed out that Scotty Scheffler had a good chance to win the golf tournament. And I feel like we don't deserve too many slaps on the back for that. But it looks like, as you mentioned, Scheffler is still the odds on favorite. I was looking at the odds this morning. It looks like they've still got him the odds on favorite at plus 450. But then the interesting group right after that: Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Louis Oberg, and Colin Morikawa, and then I think Xander Schauffele and Bryson DeChambeau rounded out that first group there. So if it wasn't Scheffler, let's say Scheffler, struggles some with his short game or whatever it is this week, hard to imagine. Who are some of the other guys that y'all are looking at that maybe could make a run, or who would you like to see in contention maybe?
Well, it's just something Randy and I've talked about often over the last 18 months or so. I think Oberg's going to win something big.
Yep, no doubt.
He finished second in this tournament last year.
He did.
And, I just finished we got a group of guys that has a Masters draft every year, and I just came from that, and I had the fourth pick, and Oberg was not chosen yet, and that's who I took.
Yeah.
So,
not a bad pick. I mean, it's gonna bust out somewhere because he's gonna be a world number one eventually. his talent amazing. He hasn't played great of late, but with that golf swing, I'm not sure it takes long for that to click back in. But a couple of others on there. Xander has been hurt and has not played well this year. Victor Hovland has played well this year and has played well there. Colin Morikawa, as good an iron player as he is. I got a couple of sleepers. There's a guy named Corey Connors, who I think is really well suited for that golf course and has played well there before. I think Tony Finau will probably play well there. But there's so many, and Rory will play well, I think. But I don't trust his short game at Augusta. I just don't. He'd be a very popular champion, that's for sure, and it'd be a big story for golf if he were to win it. But I'm not so sure that tournament's not in his head at this point in his career. And his short game can be so streaky. And that ain't a good place to be streaky with your short game. I mean, it's just not a good place for that.
Well, what about a guy who at one point I thought had one of the best short games in the world, who is, he's got the third best chances to win the whole thing according to the outlets, and that's Jon Rahm. A couple of years ago, he would have been the first or second name out of your mouth, no matter what. What's going on with him? And can we expect to see him in contention? Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he's doing. I don't keep up with the LIV at all. But best I can tell, he's not dominating on the LIV, and he only has to beat 53 guys every week, and he's not doing that. And I literally loved his game. But once he left, I sort of wrote him off. And of the guys from that are playing, I would take Bryson.
Right.
He won the U.S. Open last year, and his game is so explosive. I wouldn't be surprised if he played well. I don't think a thing of Dustin Johnson. I don't even know if he knows he's going.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he knows they're playing this week.
Nobody took him in our draft today.
Bryson?
No, Dustin.
He doesn't get picked for anybody. He does. I don't. That guy's like he's checked out.
Boy, 10 years ago.
Less than that even. I mean, you would take him in the top first or 2 or 3 picks. So I'm not pulling for any of them, and I won't pick them in my pools.
Right.
The LIV guys, I just write them off. But a guy like Russell Henley, who's played great this year and has a short game to stand up to that, and I think Sepp Straka will play with. That's 2 Georgia guys that have played well this year, and they have a game that can stand the pressure of Augusta. I really look for those 2 guys to play well. One of them to bust out, and of course Brian Harmon just won yesterday, so this is 3 Georgia Bulldogs that I think are going to sniff around in there.
Yeah, but I figured of the LIV guys that might have a shot, it might be, as you mentioned, Bryson, just because I think that year, a couple of years ago, kind of humbled him, where he was talking about how much he had, is going to overpower Augusta and all that, and then you flash forward to like the 3rd hole, and he's off in the woods for the 3rd time.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's learned a lot from that, and he seems to have. I don't know if his worm has completely turned on him, but he seems to be more of a fan favorite, and he
is, and I think he's matured some. I still think he's crazy.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
But he has matured some, and he no longer calls it a par 68 golf course, which he did.
Yeah, that was
which was foolish at best. But anytime he plays, as explosive as that guy is, and he can get a hot putter. He really can. So we'll see about that. But Minwoo Lee has got a game for that. Hideki Matsuyama, who has won before, has played well a good bit this year. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see that guy because his short game is so strong, and he's a great driver.
He's just not a great putter.
He's not. He's very, very streaky.
If he gets on one of his rolls, I got him in the 3rd round.
Yeah, which is a great 3rd round pick, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought you did a pretty good job on that. And Victor Hovland's that way. He's a streaky guy, and he's, he won a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he wasn't really particularly impressed with his own game that week. He said he played, good, but not pretty far from great, and still was able to win. And he won under some pressure. Like, he had to win it. And I say it every week, somebody's going to make you win. You can get as big a lead as you want to. Somebody's coming after you, and they're going to make you finish it, unlike Duke and Auburn, who didn't win when somebody tried to make them win it, and then they didn't.
So, Randy, what about our Mississippi guy?
Davis Riley's playing, and his golf game is so good, and his golf swing is so great. He's played well the last couple of weeks he's played, but got a bad start to the year. I heard he had some problems with his driver. He just lost his driver for a couple of months. But he actually played well the last couple of times he's played, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Davis is a streaky putter. But I'll be bleeding out for him, hoping he plays great.
Any Mississippian would hope he's playing good, but that is not a place to try to find your driver if he's having issues with it. Yeah, I don't know.
Oregon on the bad side of that putter streak.
Well, as you and I know, that golf course really is now a demanding driving course. I mean, you have to drive it well, and you actually have to drive it far.
Well, especially with the holes they lengthen.
Number 11 is like 680, a par 4. I mean, it's just.
I tell you, the one that people, unless you go there, you just can't imagine what it looks like from the 18th tee.
You can't. You cannot. You literally have to walk single file off that tee to get to the fairway. It's that tight.
Tyler, it's like,
it's a goalpost.
Yeah, you can't play a draw or a slice. I mean,
you have to hit it between the sticks, buddy. I mean, it's very unforgiving, and it's long.
It's up a mountain.
It is. It's straight uphill. It's demanding off the tee. I mean, you have to drive it now. I mean, they've made, even like number 7, they used to hit irons off number 7. They don't do that anymore. They've made that golf hole long, and it was short. Mm-hmm. But they'll hit 7, 8 irons into it.
And he, like you say, number 11 is, right, what it is? It is 525, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice par 5 for a par 4.
So that's how I played it.
It's sure.
Yeah.
So is it? And I hope people are as familiar with the course as we are as we're talking about it. Is it 11 or is it 4? Is the first par 3?
3.
Which one
4, yeah.
are those? The would you say those are the 2 toughest holes? I mean, I don't know if they're. I mean, I know that's a tough green to hit, and they got the bunker in front protecting it with the big 2-tiered green.
4 is brutal. I mean, it's just brutally hard, but 12 is the hardest little par 3 in the world, and it's 150 yards at the very most it can play. It's just, and they don't mess with that hole, and they have no intention of ever changing the length of that hole, and it doesn't need it. It really does not. I think it's going to be interesting to see. They made some changes, and they do make changes as they go. I've never seen a course that's it's so familiar to us because we've been watching it. You and I have been watching it 50 years or more each. So we've got 100 years or more of watching it. But the golf course has changed so much for it to still be basically the same. And this year they made some other changes, and then they had the hurricane come through this year, and they lost a bunch of trees. It's going to be interesting to see if we can tell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw Rory, he went last weekend and played it, and he said he could tell on 16 that there were fewer shadows on the green. Other than that, he couldn't tell, and they lost a bunch of trees out there. But they've redone a couple of greens, and they put them back together, and I don't know how they do it, but I think those are little nuances. That's why he went, because they had made some where they just redid a green and changed it.
Everything they've changed, they've done to keep up with the equipment.
Yeah, they have.
And they have, pretty much.
And they've done a good job of that.
Kept up with
Yes, they have. The scores are no lower today than they've ever been, really.
Yeah,
They're just not.
Well, I think the biggest thing is they want there to be a big difference in a good drive and a bad drive. And so that's why you see them lengthening holes by 10, 15 yards instead of, changing the whole layout.
Well, it used to be it took 250 yards to carry the crowns of the fairways.
Yeah.
And so you had to be fairly long to fly at 250 or more. And now they moved the tees back where you got to fly at 300 to get over those crowns, and
that's about right.
It's about right.
It's about what the difference is in a driver now and 40 years ago.
Yeah, it's about 50 yards, and that's a big number. And so they're so forward thinking, and they've been so progressive about a lot of things, not just the golf course, but about the club itself and the tournament itself. It's endearing to everybody, and it's really literally everybody's favorite. And it draws non-golfers to this tournament.
Absolutely.
No non-golfer watches the PGA.
So what's your favorite Masters of all time?
1975. It didn't take long, did it?
No, not at all.
It was pretty.
It was pretty special. Yeah. And it was, a favorite of anything. It can be a song or a sporting event. It's time and place. But at age 13, when Nicklaus and Weiskopf and Miller were fighting for that Masters, it was a real critical time in my life, in my love affair for golf. I just never seen anybody perform and cripple people like Nicklaus could do it at that time. And he did. He crippled both those guys with his just mere persistence, and his just greatness was, it's memorable.
Yeah.
It's memorable. I can see it in my eyes right now. I can see him making that putt at 16. It's not makeable, but it was. It was for him. How about yours?
For some reason, and there were so many of them, but maybe my favorite was the year that we had the 3-person playoff, and Larry Mize chipped in.
Yeah.
That's 87.
Yep, sure was.
Which was the year my name got drawn out of the hat, and I got to play it.
Same year. So you played the course, same setup, right?
Same. Back then, they let you play
their tee.
The tees.
Yeah.
So I got to play the course the exact same way that they had played it. But, and Mize chips in to win the playoff. But the more memorable thing to me was when Ballesteros missed the putt on 10.
Yep.
And I was there, and I've never seen a person that overcome with grief that hadn't lost a close family member.
It just dripped off of him, didn't it?
Well, he did drip off. He cried literally like a baby. He bawled.
Yep.
Never seen anything like it.
That's one of my maybe my second favorite was the first time he won there.
Yeah.
I was so in awe what I saw that guy could do, and the charisma that guy had, and that he was built for that place. And
another very memorable one was Tiger's first win, which was, at that point you said, is anybody else ever going to win?
Is he going to win 20 of them?
Yeah.
Which was what we all thought. He's going to win the next 20. Who could beat that?
Remember
that? 2005 is my favorite Masters. I was 19 years old, and that was the one with the shot on 16 that came back down the hill, the Vern Lundquist call that lives in my head rent-free.
Oh, rent-free forever, right.
Well, since there was no TV back when Saracen made the deuce.
Double eagle,
yeah, that...
Yeah, right. That would be memorable, right. But no one saw it but him.
Right.
Even his caddy, probably, and whoever he was playing with. There weren't that many people there then.
Right.
In the '86 Masters, of course, when Nicklaus won, for you and I, it was such a marvel for a 46-year-old.
46-year-old, and that's a year that I decided I was at the Clarion Ledger and decided to let somebody else go.
No, you did not.
I didn't go.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't go.
Oh, that's a whiff right there.
Yeah, that would be my number one regret.
Right.
But I don't know who the lucky guy that got to go was.
His initials might be BW.
Could have been Billy.
Could
have been old Billy.
Oh, man.
My old cuz.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I just remember I decided not. I had a conflict and didn't go, but I was...
In '86?
Yeah.
I'd say you did have a conflict in March of '86.
Well, you were a couple months old.
What?
I was born in
It
March
was April.
'86.
You were a month old.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
No, you weren't even a month old. You were 3 weeks old.
Well, I can't imagine what the conflict could have
Who leaves
been.
town with a month old?
You know, I had forgotten what the conflict was.
And now,
So why in your middle name conflict?
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm glad I wasn't born a month later. It might have been Jack.
That's exactly right. It just creates so many memories. There's just so many memorable moments. It's like every year, Rick and I could go back between us and name 30 really memorable Masters moments pretty easily. But in no other major could we come up with that many.
No.
There's some in all of them. But
Yeah.
there, it just creates it. It just, whatever reason.
You know, and there's so much I remember that didn't involve the actual golf tournament itself. I mean, I remember being in the press room after we had finished everything, and they have cocktails, and I'm sitting there with Dan Jenkins shooting the bull about his greatest Masters memories, and
That's worth a beer in any bar just to have that moment.
well, and the things he told me about what to watch, and the thing that I always remember is he said, "There will never be a bad putter that wins this tournament. It's always going to be
Yep.
somebody who's either putting well that week or is just always a great putter." I mean, how else could Ben Crenshaw win two?
Correct, because he was the greatest putter.
You just got to be able, I mean, and that's the thing. People ask me, well, tell me, I mean, you've been lucky enough to play the golf course. Tell me what's different about it. It's all about the freaking greens.
It sure is.
I mean, it was Trevino that said they had elephants buried in them.
Yes. And that's really not an exaggeration.
The slope is,
And the speed's just ridiculous. I mean, you have to be really creative with your approach shots and your putts. I mean, they hit away from the hole way more times than they hit at it.
oh yeah.
With intent.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
that
'cause-
flag's a no-fly zone. Do not go there. It's a wedge to a tour pro. To make him go away from a flag stick
Well, y'all have heard this story, but maybe some of the listeners haven't. But the first time I got to play it was in '87, and my caddy that day had caddied for Sammy Snead when he won it.
Wow.
It was either 52 or 53. I can't remember what year it was, but Jimmy was my caddy's name. And we'd be lining up a putt, and I'd say, I'd hold my hands a foot apart and say, about that much to the right, and he'd start laughing. He'd say, "You need to." It's more
back.
like 12 feet
Right.
to the right.
Turn your back to the hole.
Yeah. A couple times he had me facing where I thought I was going away from the hole.
Yeah.
And he was right.
He was right. It's crazy. I mean, it really is.
And my favorite, I had killed a drive on number 9 and then hit a 9-iron right at the hole. And we get up there, and it's Sunday pin placement on number 9. I'm 2 feet above the hole. And we get there, and I'm striding up there like I'm somebody. And Jimmy looked at it and said, "Uh-oh."
Uh-oh is right.
I said, "What are you uh-ohing about? I got a 2-foot putt for birdie on number 9 at Augusta National." He said, "Brother, if you miss that hole,
It's gone.
it's gone."
And not just gone past the hole, down the hill,
Down the hill,
fairway.
and down the fairway, which is exactly what happened.
Oh, come on.
You put it all the way. Yeah.
I lipped it out on the top side of the hole,
Gone.
and it went off the green and went 25 yards down the fairway.
So your caddy handed you your wedge after you hit your putt.
Yeah.
You're going to need this. You're going to need that. You don't need that putter for your next one.
And I mean, when I say I didn't it wasn't going hard. It was barely going, and it just keeps picking up steam and picking up steam.
And there's just nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
Gravity.
I'm just glad to hear your putting game has not improved since.
Lots of people miss that putt and done that same thing. And it'll happen this year. Somebody will do it.
Somebody will do it.
Somebody will do it.
And that is maybe, I don't know, there's some really horrible pin placements you can have, but that might be the one.
Yeah. They just got some treacherous. There's treachery. There's some putts on number 3 that are just, every green, you could pick them all, that every green's got putts that are just treacherous for the best of the best. And we'll get to see it because it'll show up. They'll have some, the putt Scott Hoke missed.
Yeah.
The year, that tournament was his to win it. And he missed that putt at 17.
3 feet.
Less than that.
2 feet.
Yeah.
So here's my question. And obviously, I don't think TV does it justice just how pretty the grounds are and how beautiful everything is. My azaleas bloomed.
Yep.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And usually when they bloom, it's like, all right, it's Masters time, whatever.
Yeah.
So how do they get it? How do they get it to where it looks like that this week, considering it's been hot, cold, and everything blooms early?
Ice.
So they ice down the bushes, right? So, but from your perspective, Randy, as somebody who, maintains golf courses, how difficult and how much difficult is it and how much money do you think they spend to get it looking like that?
Equal parts of both.
Yeah.
But you can't have one without the other. You can overcome the difficulty with enough foresight and enough money.
Right.
But to cover the azaleas, to keep them warm if it gets cold, or to cool them off with ice to make them hold until they want them to bloom, I don't know how you, I
can't imagine.
I don't have the capacity to come up with the number of dollars because it's not 5 azaleas. Maybe 5,000 azaleas. I don't know how many.
On number 12.
Just on 12 and 13 alone.
Right.
I don't know how they do it. I really don't know. I don't even really have the understand how they maintain the course as well as they do. To the conditions that they present every single year, and really every single time you go play it.
It feels
the
like
golf course is literally perfect.
Well, you go there for the tournament and you go to the souvenir shops and you watch every patron, as they call them, come out of there with 3 or 4 bags full of $100 shirts and
Well, they're saving
$300 cashmere sweaters, and
because they're saving money on the refreshments, buddy. I saw that menu again. That's incredible.
Yeah, but it sure helps with the manpower to. All the money they make.
Oh my Lord! I've read before it's the biggest hub for UPS that week in the country.
I believe it.
People shipping stuff
because you can't get it. You can't get it.
Correct. Getting in and out of that.
No, I think but that menu is incredible. The refreshments menu. It's like that. The China Walk next to my house and the Masters are the only 2 places that inflation has not hit.
Yep. They just won't do it. They have. I heard a story this week last week that they now have 5,800 cameras scattered around that golf course. And that they did a study. Their intent is, part of their intent is for you to see the most golf you can possibly see as a spectator, whether that's on television with fewer commercials or in person. They do not want you standing in line at the concession stand, which is why they're as efficient as Chick-fil-A or better. In my view, they're better. But they're
open on Sunday.
Right. for openers. They took number 16 last year. You know how everybody sits on the left side of the pond over there? Yeah. And they kept a camera on that gallery of patrons. And every person that got up and left their seat to go get a concession, they watched, they followed, and then timed how long they were gone and what they purchased. And 87% of the purchases of that person was water. So this year they're going to have free water at the grandstands, so that you don't have to get up just to go get water, have to go stand in line. And it'll declutter the lines, and then every time the camera pans that hole, they'll be full. They will not be empty or look the least bit empty. That the forethought of stuff like that amazes me.
Well, it helps to have an unlimited bank account.
It's like Johnny Pott told me one time that he was involved in building some courses in Palm Springs with a company called Landmark Land. Big company at the time. They were building courses everywhere. And he said he went to a meeting one time and the boss said, "Johnny, you've done something I've never seen before. You had an unlimited budget and you exceeded it." Congratulations. It's a nice course, but you exceeded the budget.
There was a great gentleman.
One of the best.
Johnny Pott.
One of the best.
Well, guys, we're about out of time. I really appreciate Randy again for coming in with us. You guys got any parting thoughts for us as we go into the tournament this weekend? What are you going to be watching for on Thursday? And, is there any early indicators that will give us an idea how the week will go?
Well, based on the forecast, the wind is going to change directions a little bit every day. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to come from the northwest one day, then the southeast the next day, then the west one day, then the north, and then the south. So it's going to switch around, which means the golf course is going to play entirely different each day. But I hope what people will watch is the incredible short game that these people have, that these men have. The ladies have it too. But how skilled they are around those greens. That I tell this story all the time. And even in my day, this was true. There are people on the tour that are great ball strikers and some that are not. Some that are great putters, some that are not. Every single one of them are great chippers. Like they're great chippers of the ball. And whoever really chips it the best, which is why you pick a guy like Scotty. Even I don't discount Jordan Spieth this year because of his short game and his ability to recover from his wayward drives, because he can salvage stuff with his chipping and putting. He's so good at it. But I hope that's the skill, and to do it under the excruciating spotlight of the Masters is incredible to watch.
Yeah, love Spieth's recovery game.
Oh, it's like a NASCAR race. He's going to wreck. He's going to wreck somewhere.
Who's your pick, Tyler?
Obviously, I think Scheffler's got the best chance. I'm not completely out on Rory. I wish, like you said, it would be great for the patrons. I would love to see that. That's where I'm at. I've always been like a big closeted Xander Schauffele fan, so I'm hoping he plays well, although I know it hasn't been good here lately. I honestly have no idea what to expect. I think Hideki Matsuyama could win the thing if he puts well. He has before.
Rick, what do you think? Who's the best story if they win it? Is it Rory? Is that the best?
Yeah, I think he would be the best story because that's what he lacks to win the Grand Slam.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's.
So never put it past the Masters to create the best story. They've done that a lot over the years.
Well, the best story for me would be for Davis Riley.
Sure.
A Hattiesburg guy.
And for us.
I'd love to see Davis Riley win it. That's just, I guess this is his first one, so, right? Did he play? Well,
I think he's played once before. I do. I don't know that. I should have looked that up.
Well, he was the runner-up in the U.S. Junior, but
that didn't get him in.
I don't know what would have gotten him in.
Was Colonial last year his first official win?
Yeah.
Did he win the?
He won the 4-ball thing, but they don't count.
That doesn't get the Masters. I thought he had qualified another way, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure, but I know this: I'm pulling my guts out for him.
Yeah, I hope he wins, but that's a hard place to win your first time around.
Oh my Lord, yes.
Or even your second time around.
It takes generally some volume of appearances to get used to it.
That's why I think Freddie Couples at some point, they may wheel him out there and he'll make the cut.
Yeah, exactly. It's 64 years old or 5 now. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the cut.
It's just course knowledge is so huge there. You got to know where to miss.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
That's who I'd be huddled up for a practice round, people like Couples.
Oh, yeah.
You just talk, I'll listen. You just talk me through this. I'm not playing. I'm just walking with you while you play. You tell me where not to hit it.
Yeah, I could watch him hit practice balls forever.
I do a lot of that now.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah. I admire it, and it makes me sick at the same time.
It puts me to sleep and gets me excited at the same time.
Well, maybe we'll talk about this national championship the other night. We're recording this on Monday. I would take you guys. Who you got? Houston.
I had Houston to beat Duke, so yeah, I've got Houston
to beat
Did
Florida.
You really? Good for you. Did. Boy, that was a good pick right there.
Well,
I'm just going to be the SEC homer and just pull for Florida.
Yeah,
they're so athletic, and they've played great the last couple of months of the year. They probably played the best in the SEC the last 2 months.
Well, let me tell you something. That guard.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Tyler? Who you got?
I'm pulling for the Gators. I'm thinking Houston's going to win, though. I love their defense, and I'm a big Kelvin Sampson fan.
Me too.
Yeah. How
Me
could
too.
you?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good one out there. We'll talk to you next week.